The Sword of Judith. The shadow of the Assyrian war machine fell long and dark across the west. At its head was Holofernes, a man whose cruelty was matched only by his loyalty to his king Nebuchadnezzar. Cities fell like wheat before his scythe, their gods cast down, their people forced to bow to a mortal king as a god. The army was a locust plague, devouring the land on its inexorable march toward Judea. News of the approaching horde reached Jerusalem, striking fear into the hearts of the Israelites. The high priest, Joakim, sent word throughout the hill country, "Fortify your towns. Guard the passes. Let every man, woman, and child cry out to the Lord our God, for our very existence is at stake." The people fasted, put on sackcloth, and prayed for deliverance from the coming storm. Holofernes, camped on the plains, was incensed by this show of defiance. "Who are these people of the hills who dare to resist the might of Assyria?" he roared. He summoned the leaders of the conquered nations. "Tell me of this Israel. What is the source of their strength?" Akior, leader of the Ammonites, stepped forward. He recounted the history of the Israelites, their exodus from Egypt, their wanderings, and their unwavering faith in a single invisible God. "My lord," he concluded, "if this people has not sinned against their God, they cannot be overcome. Do not attack them, lest we become a laughingstock to the world." Holofernes' face purpled with rage. "Who are you, Akior, to prophesy among us? And who is God but Nebuchadnezzar?" He turned to his guards. "Take this man and cast him out. Let him share the fate of the people he so admires. When we destroy them, our swords will pierce him as well." Akior was bound and left at the foot of the hill, leading to the city of Bethulia. The sentries of Bethulia found the bound Ammonite and brought him before the city elders. When Akior recounted Holofernes' threat and his own warning, a fresh wave of fear washed over the people. They fell on their faces and prayed. Holofernes, meanwhile, began his siege, cunningly seizing the city's water source. Thirst, he knew, was a crueler weapon than any sword. For 34 days, the siege wore on. The cisterns ran dry, and the people began to collapse in the streets. Children cried with parched throats. The city's resolve crumbled. A crowd gathered before the elders, their voices hoarse with desperation. "Let us surrender. It is better to be slaves than to watch our families die." The elders relented. 5 more days, they promised. "If God does not save us in 5 days, we will yield." Word of this vow reached Judith, a widow of great wealth, wisdom, and breathtaking beauty. Since her husband's death, she had lived a life of quiet prayer and piety. But this news stirred a fire within her. How dare the city's leaders put God to the test? She sent her faithful maid, Abra, to summon the elders to her home at once. When the elders arrived, Judith did not mince words. "You have set a timetable for the Almighty's mercy. That is not a prayer. It is a test. Who are you to stand between God and his people?" The men were shamed by her rebuke. "I have a plan," she continued, her voice now calm and steady. "I will go out from the city tonight with my maid. Do not ask my purpose. Simply pray for me and open the gates." After the elders left, Judith fell to her knees in prayer, begging God to use her as his instrument. Then she rose. She cast off her sackcloth, bathed in pure water, and anointed herself with precious oils. She adorned herself in her finest festival garments, braided her hair, and put on the jewels she had not worn since her husband's passing. Her beauty was dazzling, a weapon forged for a divine purpose. At nightfall, Judith and Abra walked to the city gate. They descended into the valley, straight toward the enemy camp. Soon, the shouts of Assyrian sentries echoed in the dark. "I am a daughter of the Hebrews," Judith said, her voice steady, "and I have fled from them, for they are about to be handed over to you to be devoured." When Judith was led into the opulent tent of Holofernes, a murmur went through the assembled commanders. Her beauty was astounding. Holofernes himself was utterly captivated. She bowed low before him. "My lord," she said, "God is angry with my people for their sins. I have come to show you how to walk through the heart of Judea to Jerusalem without the loss of a single one of your men." For 3 days, Judith remained in the camp. Each night she would take her maid and go into the valley to pray. On the 4th day, Holofernes, consumed by desire, commanded his chief eunuch, Bagoas, to prepare an intimate banquet. "Persuade the Hebrew woman to join us," he ordered. "It would be a disgrace to let such a woman go without having known her." Judith came to the banquet, more beautiful than ever. She delighted Holofernes with her words and encouraged him to drink. He, eager to impress her, drank more wine than he had ever drunk in a single day and collapsed upon his bed. Bagoas dismissed the servants and secured the tent from the outside, leaving Judith alone with the unconscious general. "Give me strength this day, O Lord God of Israel," she whispered. She grasped the heavy sword that hung by his bed. Taking hold of the hair of his head, she struck his neck twice with all her might and severed his head from his body. She gave the head to Abra, who placed it in her food bag. Then the two of them went out together, as was their custom, and returned to the gates of Bethulia.